Good evening. I'm Ken Meringolo. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'd like to welcome all of you to Tuesday night. He's Tim Strachan.
I am, and I'm so happy to be here. Always happy to be here on a Tuesday. I've just a little update. Got a great report from my doctor today. Blood work's supposed to be where it is. Don't really have any side effects. So any night I'm here on a Tuesday, I'm ready to roll. That was a handicap joke. Remember, I am still quadriplegic. And then Ken tried to ruin it by making me do fantasy in June. I don't know why.
Not fantasy. This is real.
It is fantasy.
This is real.
And I hate you.
This is real.
But I'm ready to roll. Let's do this.
It's real. He's Kevin Ricca.
He considers this mental calisthenics.
Yeah.
And when it's 95 degrees as it is in town, I mean it's hot. But you know what? It's a cold basement. And it's time to raise. Time to raise some hail down here, gentlemen.
Gonna raise some hail. Thank God it's Tuesday. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Ken Harris, Greg Martin, Robert Cohen, EO, the choreographer, not the choreographer, the composer of our opening music. AGH, Nasta, great, just great hearing from you, AGH. Love the update, man. What a
great that you're home,
amazing
brother.
story.
Yes, sir.
Dude, you're an inspiration too, man. I mean, it's amazing what you're going through, and we're all backing you, man. Love you, bro, and we're all there for you. Keeping our eyes and ears out for you, man.
That is right. That is
Yes, sir.
absolutely
Praying
correct.
for sure.
Yep. Prayers all the way across the pond. Everybody appreciates hearing good news. This is a good news Tuesday. Don't forget your penis cream, if you get the reference. Sorry, we had a big Eugene Levy night.
It was such a great start to the show, and you penis cream the whole beginning.
Don't forget your penis
Editing.
cream. We'll move that out in post.
Plus, it sounds weird the way you said penis. I didn't like it.
Okay.
It sounded slimy.
That sounded gross.
Can you speak in a veiny tone? I'm not sure if you can.
I mean, say boner cream. At least that would have been fun.
Can we get a different word besides cream? Ointment. Boner ointment.
It's true. It's true.
That means it sounds like a disease, though.
I don't know. I don't know if this. We were off to such a great start.
Balm, maybe some kind of a shaft balm.
Dong balm.
Yeah,
It's fun to say. Dong
I
balm.
don't know.
It's all downhill.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot my dong balm.
The balm,
We're already
yeah.
off the road.
Who gave you the balm?
just-
I didn't give you the balm. Who told you to put the balm on? I didn't tell you to put the balm on.
We did the best we could for as long as we could. Apparently.
We got parachutes.
People that tuned in early got the best of us right away. There is a long, kind of a grab bag of news in Washington Commanders land. That's true. I was actually that's true. Most boring news first. The Commanders, but interesting news. I thought the Commanders settling the lawsuit from Virginia for like $1.6 million. They settled it, closed deal. State of Virginia said we're good. It said glowing things about Josh Harris.
Thank God.
It's that they're still. I'm sure they're still dealing with other inherited problems, but just another classic example of our guy, how he's running things. Apparently, they took over and they just did like a document dump on these attorneys and said, "Here's everything you need." And they were like, "Well, we've never seen any of this before."
Oh God, these are grosser than the start of the First Amendment show the other night.
Yes. These are the grossest margins we've ever seen.
It's so gross.
But I think that ultimately it's a great story for us who have been in the foxhole for the last 20 years. It's a giveaway story to most of the folks in the NFL world. I understand. What I do think people in the NFL world care about in June, when there's zero else going on, and it is a story. David Bakhtiari up and decides to go public with his desire to play football some more. Interestingly to us, because he plays left tackle, he's done it at a pretty high level throughout his career. And if he wants to lace them up again, we have, let's just say, possible opening. Oh, for sure. I mean, we need a left tackle. I go. What do you guys think?
There's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
There's a lot here.
A lot of risk.
10 years ago, we would have been like, oh my God, we're getting back to TRA. We all would have been breakdancing, popping and locking, the whole nine. Who knows how it would have worked out. But right now, it's very interesting to see how he's responded. This is a 2-star guy out of high school. This is a guy who earned his way. This is a guy who went to Colorado. His last year they were 1-11. You know, he came into this NFL as just a workaholic dude. 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro. You got to kick the tires, but we'll talk in a minute. I'll let you go first, T. But the age wall at 32 is what I will discuss after I hear about you guys.
That in his last 3 years. He's played in 5 games.
That's been around a lot.
But you wonder how serious he is when he says he not only wants to come back, but he wants to play for years.
He wants to play.
Yep.
Well, you have to. Go ahead.
Years.
You had to say
like,
that.
Like that. But after what he's been through, you wonder how is he delusional or is this like some real stuff?
Well, if he wants to play again, then he has to be gung ho in rhetoric and everything. I mean, he has to. He might still only get a 1-year deal, but you're not even going to get the 1-year deal unless the guy. People are convinced that, like, to your point, that he's serious about coming back at all. Mm-hmm. I know the age and injury thing. I mean, basically had a career-ending, medical stuff. It ended his career. Now he's unending it. There's a lot of money to be made for someone who has put what he's put on film. But I think you can get a deal on him because of the tread on the tires. And, he should be able to beat out Brandon Coleman at the minimum for left tackle, probably.
There's different levels to that. I don't know what they're looking for in Brandon Coleman. He's interesting. I don't want to say yes or no, but yes, on paper, you would think that a guy, if he came in, now the reason why he has played the amount of games he's talked about, let's be fair, he had a knee surgery that didn't go the right way. Mm-hmm. And he feels that he just got it corrected. He said for 3 to 4 years, he'd been told to grind through it. He feels that that's corrected. A healthy David Bakhtiari, you're damn right he should be anyone's left tackle. And certainly ours. And I'm not sure, like T said out on the balcony, why he would want to come here. But let's put that on the back burner for now. No, but I get that. Of course I get that. He said he wants to win a Super Bowl and all of this. So if he does come here, that'd be a fun couple. Well,
it's years,
couple years at a minimum, of course. But the idea of this guy and this age wall, and he is at it. Mm-hmm. He's 32 right now. He turns 33 in September. 32 years old. I'm just going to list the 5 superstars that hit this wall and stopped: Joe Thomas, Anthony Munoz, Jonathan Ogden, Orlando Pace, and Walter Jones. These are some badass cats, correct?
Yeah.
They hit that spot and they stopped. Now, new medicine's different because and different guys are different. But if I said these guys to you, Jason Peters, still a free agent at 42 years old. Jackie Slater, who played until he was 41 and 50 games as a starter at that time. Dwayne Brown, who's a free agent right now at 38. Gary Zimmerman played at 36. Andrew Whitworth and Trent Williams. Let me just tell you, age 34, 35, 36, for all of these gentlemen, was the prime of their career.
Yes.
That's
such a small percentage.
These guys did. Trent Williams is a Pro Bowler for us. The last 3 years in San Fran, he's been a first-team All-Pro. Yeah. He was never an All-Pro as a Redskin for obvious reasons.
The Redskin effect.
Right, of course. But Whitworth, I mean, good Lord, dude. At 34, 35, and 36, he was a 2-time first-team All-Pro and 3-time Pro Bowler. Zimmerman, same deal. Jackie Slater, 4-time Pro Bowler. Peters, 3-time Pro Bowler at 32, 33, 34. So it can be done, is all I'm saying. And if this guy, who doesn't have a ton of tread the last 3 years, because look, Trent Williams had a year off for Bruce Allen cancer. Bruce Allen gave him cancer, and Trent Williams beat it. Yep. These guys have all had a little break. Some of these guys have had, except for Whitworth, he just kept going. So certain people are built differently.
That's pulling off the scab for me.
Let's
got
take a peek.
Fired up about Andrew Whitworth when he was available. We had Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden knew him well. He was available for the right price, and you're just too stupid to make a good deal. It's good for us because most legit Super Bowl contenders, whether it be June or any time of the year, probably have a left tackle. First of all, the Jets have like 3 left tackles. They traded for Morgan Moses. They drafted Olu Fashanu, and they signed another starting left tackle, quality player. I'm trying to think of the name.
Yeah, well, he said that they have those guys.
I won't be
there. And he also said, I want to be a left tackle.
And Green Bay is not an option for him, even though he loves Jordan Love. Green Bay fired him. He's got no love for Green Bay. So he's got to go somewhere. If he wants to play, it's an interesting opportunity for him on this team because there's just so much positivity. Somebody at some point will want to come here. I'm not saying it's going to be him, and it's going to have because he's going to have to want to go wherever he goes. We're closer today to that than we were at any time over the last 3 or 4 years of somebody looking at our team and saying, "All right, I'll do that."
I just heard other high possibilities for him to land are places like KC, Baltimore, and maybe even Dallas.
Well, when they said Super Bowl, those first two were in contention, but the third team was not, and I'm not sure that we are either.
They're
but,
always in.
And Tyron Smith, that's the one they signed.
That's true.
For the Jets.
That's true. That's true. I forgot about Tyron. I will say this: the 7 years he played at the highest of levels in Green Bay before he signed, and was for one season the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL.
Yep.
He averaged over 1,000 snaps a season. He is a dude
guys aren't
that does
around.
not come
They're
off
not-
the
yeah,
field.
right.
So he obviously this knocked him out, and he feels like he is ready to go.
Those guys are hard to find.
And they really are. 1,000 snaps for 7 straight years for Aaron Rodgers, who's, that guy's not someone that gets ready. He sits back there and takes his sweet ass sometimes. Bakhtiari is a dude when
If his body
when he's
is
ready.
willing, he could be one of those guys on your list.
He is willing.
Agreed.
I think he
And,
is.
and there's really not a bidding war. He gets to choose, sort of, because and
He'll
we can get
choose.
him. Hell, I say we take him.
No one can offer more money, I don't
And
think.
that's why I said 2-star at the beginning of this conversation. He's a dude, and we'll get to it the rest of this podcast. The guys that we've been targeting and going after have all these characteristics that are extremely similar, and I do believe Bakhtiari has specifically that as a man that volunteered at homeless shelters in high school and college, and the guy that's done nothing but be a donator to the greater good in this nation since he's been a professional athlete. This guy's the real deal, and he has that thing that we've been looking for and talking about all offseason for this new regime of Commanders.
Anybody on the board want to ring in? Let's take a straw poll. Yay or nay? At all costs, if David Bakhtiari is truly and fully available for the taking, is he what? I mean, we have enough money to get him with money. If money's going to get him, we have enough money to get him. But that's, you know what I'm saying? This guy knows what I'm talking about.
Well, as long as T does, then I'm good.
We can make it happen
I'll agree.
with the money.
I heard take Bakhtiari, and so
All right. I'm down.
Whatever it takes.
Another name on the NFL landscape who may or may not be available, has not expressed, like Bakhtiari, has not expressed any true interest whatsoever in being a member of our team. Brandon Ayuk continues to dangle out there. He's telling people, allegedly our quarterback, that the 49ers don't want him back. And I thought to myself, in the Turd Swagler,
He's talking behind her back.
in the
right
Turd Swagler era, if our quarterback, if a wide receiver called our quarterback and said, "Hey, these guys don't want me, come get me," the quarterback would like, "Hey, Dan, go get this guy," and he'd be like, "Okay, sweetie," and he'd just fire up the jet and go. It was the worst, most backward situation. That ain't how a guy like Brandon Ayuk is coming here. We got the guy who knows Brandon Ayuk as well as anybody. He's our general manager. He's our head of everything. Adam Peters. He just came from there. He knows everything there is needed to know about Ayuk. If he comes here, it will be for a good reason, at the very, very minimum.
And as a vet wide receiver for Arizona State, Jaden Daniels was a young QB chucking it to him already. And that seems very interesting that they'd be having these conversations. And listen, I said last week, there's no way we're going to get him. I don't think there's any way we're going to get him. This is a top 10 guy.
I think so too.
This is a top 10 receiver in the league. And he's going to cost lots of monies.
Yes.
And so many monies. So
Lots of monies.
yes.
I say I am
So you don't
okay
think
with
it's
spending
feasible?
monies.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's totally feasible.
I think it's complete. I think it's
We
also.
have all the monies.
If we did want to spend these monies right now, I just thought we'd wait and see. And, but to give a guy that he went to college with,
Kev,
that's perfect for this offense.
and the thing is, we have the money. We have the most salary cap, second most salary cap space right this very second, third most next year, and in top 5 going forward. Right, that's how we're set up. If you think you got the right guy at quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who's able to play right away and produce on a rookie contract that he has to play for, you can't rip that thing up for at least 4 years. Then that you definitely have $20+ million to give to a top-notch wide receiver in that win. That's going to be his contract. It's going to be a 3 or 4 year deal for $20+.
That's when I would say our team enters the Houston Texans conversation about what they did last year.
Yes.
And their turnaround.
Yeah.
With a guy like C.J. Stroud, rookie quarterback, coming into that scenario. That's when I start getting really excited because it's hard not to look at this defense and get pumped. Offensively, it's hard not to look at it and be like, all right, take it easy. But Brandon Ayuk, a top 10 guy, working with Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, and you throw Dotson in as a 3. That's crazy.
KC was the anomaly. They don't really have a dominant receiving core. They got it done with what they had. But
Yes, they did.
Look at the Eagles. Look at Buffalo. Look at the top teams in this league. They have that star-studded wide receiver core. So
Bengals are
you
right
gotta
there at
be
the top.
seriously in that mix, and if it's an opportunity, I think you try to take it.
With right now, the Niners. It's the
The
Niners
only
and the
thing
Bengals.
you worry about is how do you use all these weapons without a good line? But if maybe the Bakhtiari thing works,
Maybe you got to
Or maybe our
cover
line's
more.
better than we think it is, and it has to be than it was last year. You got
really
some
don't
good
think it
players
is,
on there.
but-
You got Allegretti. Hold on, Biotish, an All-Pro.
Biotish, yes.
That's a big deal, and
Yes.
Allegretti's another big deal. We're way better at those two spots,
Yes.
and we're the same at the others. So we're a little better. We're two spots better.
The thing Ken Harris about the 49ers, it's not about him leaving necessarily so much as the 49ers potentially extracting some value from his imminent departure, right? Because he's going to cost all the money we're just talking about. They got their whole team is all pro. I mean, you just can't have every single guy. I mean, you have Debo, you have McCaffrey, you have Trent Williams. I mean, their whole lineup is an all-star roster. Somebody's not getting their money, and right now it looks like Ayuk's that guy.
I think they had 6 All-Pros last year. Those guys need to get paid.
Yeah, the money's getting spent out
It
there.
has nothing to do with how good Ayuk is.
Yeah.
It's where they have, as an organization, decided to spend their money, and Ayuk might be the odd man out, even though he's a top 10 receiver.
They re-upped McCaffrey. They re-upped
Someone's
Juwan
gotta go,
Jennings.
right.
It's
They
a
gave
business.
Debo the money.
it's a business.
They got Kittle.
Wow, if we got Ayuk, man, I have tried not to be excited. Now T's
Yeah.
saying, like, is it feasible? And I went from last week saying, like, shut the fudge up. But listen to them interact.
I think it is feasible.
And he checks a lot of boxes. And having a big ass, huge receiver, what
It is.
when
It is
you
a
have
price.
oh,
It's a price check situation, right? So, on any other given day, I mean, if we do believe he's a top 10 wide receiver, then that's a first round compensation. But he's not going to be paid that because he comes with a price tag to us on the way in. So
Exactly.
we have to sign him to a lot of money, and therefore we're not giving up a first round pick for him. If it's like a third,
the Justin Jefferson effect.
that's right. So we're gonna have to fork over that money, and I would do that over bringing in Bakhtiari. That would be my choice.
Yeah, but Bakhtiari isn't going to cost.
You could potentially get them both for sure. But Ayuk, getting Ayuk for if we get him for a third rounder, I think that would be a huge win. And third rounders are valuable, so I understand. But I'd trade a third rounder for him in a heartbeat. I'm not saying that's I feel like that's like the fairest thing for us.
This is not fair. This isn't the pace that we've all agreed to for this team. Then all of a sudden, something like this happens. Jaden Daniels, former college receiver, superstar, becomes available, top 10, gigantic badass. This is not fair. But Adam Peters is a cool customer.
We're trying to quit.
We'll be just. I know.
And they're just like
I know.
blowing
This is
Marlboro Reds right in our face. They're just like, like for God's sake, not even like a filtered menthol.
Puff
100?
give, sir.
Yeah. And we have been very good about not getting stupid about so many various things.
And I'm just talking about not getting stupid. I'm not talking about getting him. I'm talking about talking about getting him.
I know.
I'm talking about talking about getting him.
You know, this is like I just got so comfortable in a mode that I was sat in for 18 straight years, being like, I want that guy. I need that guy. Let's go. Gas up the jet, Danny. Let's go and make it rain. And then God help him, he did.
But Justin Jefferson might have ruined it for everybody, for even having the conversation. Because when we talk about how much money a wide receiver is going to cost, dude, a lot of these guys we brought on in 1 year deals that we're trying to, are guys that we're going to sign to 3 year or guys that we're going to send on out. Like, this is year one. This is the transition. We're trying to figure out how to do this. So a lot of the money we're talking about having, it's kind of already earmarked. For whoever wins the competition this year.
We're so fortunate with McLaurin under contract and Dotson still on his deal. I think paying market. Again, it comes down to, do we think he's a top 10 receiver? And if we do, then paying him market value is a steal. Because that's the guy who makes a difference on the field on Sundays.
Paper, but is it in the culture of this team building that we're discussing that we don't
He's
know?
young. He comes in and he plays the position.
I know.
The
The question has to be asked.
Can he fit in it?
Is the position? Yeah, and we all know you just got a rookie wide. It just checks so many boxes.
It's great.
And I was going to make a box joke, and I'm not. I'm not.
I like it. Well, the 49ers obviously are better with him on their team. They're one of the smarter organizations in the league.
I was trying to get you off.
And they are likely going to make the right decision, I'm guessing. John Lynch doesn't make dumb decisions. He doesn't let people like Brayden and Ayuk walk away. They already have him on the books for this
They don't
year.
want him to.
Yeah, they basically in their mind they have another full season with McCaffrey, Ayuk, Kittle, Samuel, Juwan Jennings, Brock Purdy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They feel pretty good.
Filthy.
Yeah,
That's filthy. Yeah, but Adam Peters was part of that construct. So I like it. And
when Juwan and when what's his face walks, when Brandon Ayuk walks and gets a $30 million a year deal from somewhere, then San Francisco once again gets awesome compensatory picks because they and that again that's where they lived, on the smart side of the street for like the last 15 years. But anyways,
but they still got to get one. They've been right there, but they still got to get one.
Not yet.
I do love, you know what? It's just the Kyle Shanahan thing. I love watching. It's a team I super enjoy watching. I love watching them play hockey. We're watching the finals over here. Edmonton and Florida are on to our left. Edmonton's up 3-1. I love watching them play football. I love everything about their team. It's just Kyle Shanahan just is such a dick sometimes that he's hard to root for. But the 49ers it's just awesome. It's like an all-star team.
It's like
They're
a
like the
Pro Bowl.
Globetrotters.
It is.
Yeah, it's
they
crazy.
are. It's
In most positions.
It's relentless too. They're so cool.
Like if you like football, if you like
Come
the NFL, you
on,
have to
Mr.
watch them.
Peters. I love it.
They're not hateable, except for Shanahan.
I know, but
How do you hate
he was
Shanahan?
born that way.
He's
Well, he just looks like a
abrasive.
dick.
Yeah, he's not.
He just kind of carries it. Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. You know what? I like to think maybe he's grown up and matured a
I
little.
don't dislike him. But he gives out all like dick vibes.
Yeah. I mean, third and fourth and fifth hand stories when he was around here.
One,
at
two, three,
BC
buy me a
I
Coke.
would
Dick
never say
vibes.
that.
were not great stories. The way he treated people and the things he said to folks that weren't you know.
really?
Yeah, I mean, but
He
whatever.
just fired people off his staff this year. He just had to fire someone just to say he did something. He's one of those. And whatever, I get it, but come on, Kyle.
Win Super Bowl, buddy.
Yeah. They don't have to fire nobody.
Stop being a dick. And
Stop
then
being-
maybe you'll win. Dick.
Hey, dick vibes.
Let's see here. All right, Bakhtiari and what's his face, Brandon Ayuk, as we're going to call him from here on out. They've been covered. How about this is a throwaway one, and before we go over to the defensive side of the ball, over under on B-Rob's catches, receptions this year. We'll say assuming he stays healthy, obviously. But obviously we brought in Austin Eckler. He's going to catch the ball probably a lot. But Kingsbury is going to want to throw it to Brian Robinson probably more than he got thrown to last year, is my guess. So what do you guys think? What's a number that you like?
I'll go first.
a year?
I would like him to catch slightly more passes than he caught last year.
And that number
Due to
would
what
be?
you just said.
What was he, 30-something last year?
I'm going to say 39. I think he had 33.
Okay.
I was in the 30 range.
I don't know. This is what T responded to your text this morning as if you sent calculus homework, and I
Yes.
chuckled. And then I chuckled a little bit
I
more.
don't do that.
I knew.
I don't want to know. You don't have to know what he got last year, but there's 17 games.
I don't know what he got last year.
I think he got 36 or something like that. But he showed that he could be an effective part of the passing
And
game
that's
multiple
cool
times.
because of the way we're going to call plays. Because out of nowhere, we're just going to throw him the ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because
That's right.
we know he can, and we're so multiple that it's not a Larry Center situation. It's a B Rob, like a little fake handoff set up, and then in that flat, he's the guy that can run that play in a short yardage situation to a T because he does have great hands as a tight end.
And then he can knock some people down.
Yes, he run. Yeah, exactly. He's a badass.
Not to mention you have Ayuk, Dotson, and McLaurin all flooding his zone, and next thing you know,
Easy.
40?
Easy.
say it again. 40. I say over 40.
All right.
I say over 40. 39. AGH is taking the over also. Okay, me and AGH are on the same team. I think it's not a necessity or because of the offense. I think it's almost entirely because Brian Robinson can catch the ball, and if you can get him the ball outside of the numbers or outside the tackles
You're just doing research for a bit.
for a bit.
A bet.
A bet, not a bit. A bet bit.
Yeah,
how
a
random
bet
it-
bit.
That's how random this is.
kind of
I
a
think
bet
you're
bit.
just bouncing ideas off the off our audience for your own betting purposes.
Well, obviously I'm not doing that because that would be illegal, and there's
No,
no.
it's not. It's totally legal.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'd like everybody then to.
Yeah, you
submit.
have your card. It's fine.
I'm certified.
I just want you to be
In
more
one way or
upfront about
another.
Amen.
I think that he's going
it. It's a weird
to.
thing, random thought.
Because our offense hasn't been like, I don't know if the word's multiple or not. Multiple is, I'd love to get to multiple. Multiple would be great. But we haven't been exciting, and without changing all the personnel, changing the way we use some of the guys, and getting a little bit more creative, to me, and that's like the easiest way. By the way, I
don't know. It was pretty exciting when Heineke threw moon balls.
I did. I mean, it was. I guess so. A kind of excitement.
Lobs, like seriously,
it.
like playing 500 in the backyard.
It was. I love when he bit the top off of it.
See,
and
that was exciting. That was exciting. Not the exciting we want, but that was exciting.
It was the excitement we deserved. By the way, I'm getting now. Greg Martin says I'm White Walker from here up, and normal person from here down.
Pale myself.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no reason not to be. We're damn near 50. Listen. When I have a few whiskeys, my face gets bright red.
Yeah.
I love the shade.
I'm not going shirtless outside anymore. Are you kidding me? With this whiteness, are you? First of all, you could see me from space.
What do you do at the beach?
I'm basically wearing a full on.
You wear a t-shirt.
A unitard, I believe.
Tank top. It's a tank top.
You wear a swim,
but with the connector.
You wear one of those swim shirts that matches your shorts.
Are you a zinc oxide nose guy?
The old school nipple
Are
clamps.
you a zinc oxide nose guy?
I think I need to be. I have never been before, but I would like to try it.
No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
Just don't. There's other options that work
He's
great.
a pink, not a yellow.
Yeah.
A pink?
Yeah, you would use the pink.
The pink nipple clamps?
No, the oxide.
Okay. All right.
Only you would think of nipple clamps.
I thought you were asking me that directly.
No.
I'm pretty sure you were. All right, so let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. And we talk about the defensive line constantly. I don't know that we need to talk about especially the interior on the defensive line, but how about the second level, specific before we get to the secondary, of all of the linebackers, I feel like we're covering the Luvu Wagner situation well. I thought a good story that we didn't talk about last week that's been developing is this notion that they're going to let Jamin Davis kind of not freelance, but have a single mission.
Parsons.
I was going to say, don't laugh out loud.
Yeah.
But the Parsons role.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not saying he can be Micah Parsons, let's clarify.
That's
but
right.
yes. And by the way, a version of that.
The position that he played.
Exactly.
Which has a name, and I forget what it is.
We'll call it the Micah. The Micah.
It's not what it is, but it's
got
an actual name.
I think this is the opposite of the Brandon Ayuk excitement story. Like, I'm not going to get over the moon thinking that Jamin Davis is going to turn into that kind of player, or that there's probably a ceiling on how well he's going to do anything they ask him. At this point in time, we're hoping that he finds a system that suits him, that elevates his talent and shows us what he's capable of. But that would be one of the biggest stories in the NFL if all of a sudden, someone who hasn't necessarily shown in the NFL yet over the past few years turns into an all-star
from each year to the next up until now. He has improved significantly.
He's a
from
producer.
1 year to the next year. I shouldn't say he's improved in terms of his career yet. He's got way more to go, but he has shown improvement. So
he's not a household name slasher
finding
kind of
him
guy
in the right
yet.
spot, and I'll go to my grave saying this: the best defenses I've ever seen, watched, been a part of at any level are the most aggressive ones. And if you can turn someone with his talents loose, you can get some great results.
Here's the difference between him playing for Jack Del Rio and Joe Witt. Dan Quinn, back in his last 3 years, they squeeze fit him into a position that they said, remember that, let's learn all three spots, Jamin Davis. We drafted you so high, learn all three. Like, he didn't do one great, and they squeeze fit him into fitting into their defense. The difference with this new regime is they're going to take his talents and use what he does best to help our defense now. And I do believe his speed is his greatest attribute, correct?
Yep.
Well, we had him out on an island, and he was using his speed in open field. And
he's a good tackler.
Chasing down screens, sweeps, jets. That dude is a dude. You counter speed with speed. That's fair.
Covering deep routes, maybe just a little too much.
But if you want to be aggressive, let's line him up and use that speed off the edge, and let's go. Let's put the pressure on. Let's go.
Go get the ball.
And that's what he does best, correct? I think
get the
that
ball.
we're going to see things like this, these simple little subtle changes. Let's do what Jamin Davis does best. And what Jamin Davis doesn't do best, let's take it out.
Yeah.
And the other
We
thing
say,
is,
do
this
this,
isn't-
go through that gap and go get the ball. If you can tell a guy like that with that kind of talent,
Or put your hand in the dirt and go
designed-
on 3rd and 11.
we couldn't give a guy like him, even with the talent that we observed, whatever it was, you still couldn't put him in that role because we had no other linebackers behind him. Now you have Luvu and Wagner. You have guys who can legitimately hold down, the linebacking spots. And Jamin Davis can afford to be a little bit more narrowly focused in his defensive duties. He definitely didn't learn all 3 ways or become proficient in all 3 ways.
That was so dumb.
But if he can do one thing really well for us this year, it will be because A, he's capable of it, and B, because we have Frankie and Bobby who are doing like the linebacking.
Ricky and Mike. Jesus, dick vibes. What the hell's going on here?
I like it.
T, Ken, Kev, Rick, too.
That wasn't rehearsed.
Holy shit.
Let's see. Oh, I think that Forbes returning punts. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't know. I'll be surprised.
The slim returner?
Yeah, the slim returner. I don't know.
Listen, they're trying everyone everywhere, and
Yep.
and by the way, he's pretty spectacular
He
in
is.
his movements.
He gets the ball.
But,
He's going to the end zone.
I mean, I don't want to see someone just hit him at full speed when he's looking towards the sky. We might see like how many bones are in the human body.
Oh, we're going to see them all.
Because
Times
it's
2.
going to be a game of operation as soon
Yes.
as that happens.
We do not need to see
Holy
that.
Sheesh.
All right, let's go. Let's talk safety and then corner. So at safety, we saw Cam Curl in the Rams jersey. We saw.
I thought we specifically were not talking safety.
Well,
tonight,
I just wanted to move through it and then get to the corners. Just say because
can
Cam
you do
Curl
that motion again?
just to get and then get to the corners. Life after Curl for me became real this week. I guess that's why I'm saying that. It's because I saw him in the blue and the gold, jersey, and it's like, all right. You see the news that it's Derek
cry?
Forrest. I didn't cry. I'm not crying over Cam
Do
Curl.
you feel sad?
I wasn't sad. It was like, hey, this is a good player for us, someone who we could count on. And
Did you immediately eat and go lay down afterwards?
no, I did that. I do that anyways.
Were you aroused?
I was definitely aroused, very much so.
It was getting to this.
There's like-
someone had to ask the hard hitter.
I mean, this is by the way, this is every day. We do a 3-way conversation. T calls us all in, and then I have to get. And then Kevin asks me if what makes me aroused. It's like a 3-hour
No,
call.
just if you were. Just
if I am.
For the record, I do not participate in this at all.
Well,
It's too late, T.
it's too late. It's very too late. So Chin, Butler, Derek Forrest. It with no Curl. And I guess the point being, I feel pretty good. I'd like to spend some time in the next couple weeks looking at Chin. He's a starter on our defense on day 1. He's a stud. His highlights, I encourage everyone ahead of this conversation, do your homework. Watch his highlights. He's a stud athlete. He's a stud athlete. He's smart. He's super physical. He's fast
huge.
as shit. He's big. He's strong. He's a hitter. He's a thinker. He can do everything on the field. He's going to be. As much as I respect Cam Curl and everything he's done, I'm not trying to upstage him. I mean, I think Chin is going to be better for us out of the gate. I think that's true.
Dude, 6'3", 2.25", and hasn't had the chance to shine like he did his rookie year when he was a complete freak, badass force. A lot of these guys are so hungry. A lot of these guys are coming in here with something to prove, and that's what I love. I can't wait to watch this guy specifically. Him and Luvu are cut from the same cloth.
Yep.
They're freaking half nuts. They don't give a shit. They will tackle a Mack truck on 495 right now outside the stadium if coach says so.
And they know each other.
You're
You know what I
damn
mean?
right.
That's so
they
cool. In the middle of the
understand.
field, that stud linebacker and that stud safety, they're both coming into a new situation. They're both learning whatever it is they're learning, but they're doing it at the same time, and it's going through the filter of their brains, and they've been playing near each other now for a while. To me, you can't say enough about the fact that they have a connection.
And we'll keep getting into it, and I just want to hit on it right now because you just reminded me. All the players that we brought in have so many things in common, and a lot of it is badassery, which we understand, dedication to teammates. family. All of these guys are just unbelievable family dudes. Like the culture that we're building is not going unknown. Like there's no one that we're bringing in that isn't someone that just checks so many boxes as a human being.
Yep.
And both of these guys you're talking about are all of it. Everything we're looking for. Doing hard shit with great people and what Dan Quinn's been posting out there nonstop. Like, and it just keeps hitting. Every time I check a guy out that I don't feel like I know enough about, it's the same shit. Started off this way. This person and his family did this, and he adores his family, adores his teammates, and he's the hardest worker and most dedicated. Like, this is who we are now.
Yep.
And there's a reason why we're specifically getting dudes like this. And if you watch at the top of the pile, it really, really, really brings it in. It's the cool. I'm telling you, I was so proud of my franchise for the first time in so long watching it.
Yeah, well, just to keep the streak alive, if you have a roster full of McManuses, then you're.
Bumpers and
You're
grinders.
really not going anywhere.
No dick vibes.
you
We
can't
should
have
get that
that.
T-shirt.
No dick vibes.
That T-shirt, no dick vibes.
There you go.
And it'll be in burgundy and gold, and we'll sell it out of your basement. And in 3 years,
we
we'll make
need,
quilts out of it when there's 400 of them left.
750 T-shirts. Stat. Every color and
There's
size.
so many Loxley shirts.
What do you
Did
mean?
you ask him if he got his shirt?
What do you mean? How many
didn't ask him
quadruple
anything. He did all the
XLs do I
talking.
want? How many quadruple XLs can I order? 'Cause those are the ones that I like to keep in my in the
true.
shelf the longest.
And why wouldn't you? Because those are the warmest when it gets cold
Let us
out.
know if you're a triple X or could use one. We'll send one your way.
I threw a quadruple XL size
How do
T-shirt
they
of
get
the
a
Ron
hold of us,
Burgundy.
Ken? What's the best way?
For
Plead the first?
yeah, tweet the first or firstamendmentsports@gmail.com. First Amendment. I should come up with that. I should put that on a graphic.
Should.
And we'll do that for next week. We're gonna put it in our pre-production
Write that down, Ken.
meeting, and we're gonna make sure that it happens. Dun 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 dun! Cornerback time. Someone's super excited. It's this guy right here. It's me.
Don't do that again.
I love our quarterback situation. I think it's the most. I think even though we haven't talked a lot about Chin and our safety situation is not the most thrilling, conversation in town. I still
We got
think
big badasses there.
we do. I know, but it's just like people. I mean, I understand. Let's talk about our defensive line. Let's talk about Jaden Daniels but the cornerback situation for us is being painted as bleak by many. And I couldn't disagree more. I think that what we have, it specific to the offense that the defense that we're going to be running under Dan Quinn and Witt and all these guys, Ken Norton, the whole batch of them. It takes what these guys do and it gives them a chance to succeed. What Kevin said, these are badass players in contract years. Like, what else do you want? Dan Quinn is going to turn these guys loose all over the field, but at corner specifically, the change is there. Kendall Fuller gone. Benjamin St. Juste still given it an opportunity to earn a way onto this team long term if he plays well. And then we've got two new guys. I'm sorry, we have multiple new guys, but two new guys specifically that probably will be day one starting type players in that batch of badasses that Coach Witt said that we're going to have. And Saints Ristel and Mike Davis. Specifically, those two, right? Kevin, Mike Davis, the free agent signing, is going under the radar every time anyone talks about free agent pickups. I get Luvu. I understand Wagner. I understand we needed offensive linemen. Mike Davis he's a professional quarterback, and this might be a golden opportunity for this guy.
7 years as a Charger. 107 games, 74 starts. Putting that guy in that room and the guy that wants to be here, he just played out the third year of his 3-year, $25 million deal for the Chargers. And they got some changes coming as well. And he looked for a new opportunity. And he says over and over again, this was by far and away my best opportunity. A guy that just finished a 3-year, $25 million deal that's been a stalwart for 7 years. The guy, the Vato, the dude. That's his nickname. The dude, they love him. This guy is 6'2", $190, and was a track star in high school. This is a 500-yard dash guy. This guy is a speedster. And he says, and he didn't say why. He just kept saying because of the opportunity, because of the opportunity. Why did you want to be here? Because of the opportunity. And finally, when he was forced to answer, he said, we all know Dan Quinn loves long, fast corners who play physical, and I am that. We also all know that Joe Witt takes guys. He's going into year 8 to the next level. And I believe in this system, in this fit, Joe Witt can get me to the next level, and that's the greatest opportunity. When a guy says that, a 7-year vet who's going to be, he just says, all the vets have always looked out for me. This is different out here. This is like rookie year. I got to look out for the youngsters because I'm the old head. They're the young bucks. And he said that term, old head and young buck, over and over again. This is a dude that we have to pay attention to that's part of our situation now, because I do believe this. He plays the way I think he's going to play this year, and he's a guy that gets signed to the 3-year deal. $30 million, whatever the heck it may be. Who gives a crap? Because he's such a great fit into the system. And the system is the system. It's not a system that's going to have one guy making $45 million a year ever. He knows that. He thinks Joe Witt can take him to the next level, and I think we can watch him get there. And if you talk about the family he comes from, single mother, he's of Mexican descent. La Familia Martinez, he talks about over and over. His mother left Mexico, came to California to give her son a better chance. And she must have known something. Because, Mama, you need a big old hug, and you need to understand that it's cold out here. This ain't San Diego, but you are more than welcome.
Come on.
Because let's go. I mean, he said it was time to leave Cali and come out here for us.
Me familia, su familia.
Exactly.
How many boners did you get during your research?
I'm telling you this. It's going to freak you out.
It was an over-under of 6.
Well, my mom sent me the footage, and I'll be sure to let her know that you asked the first question after I witnessed it, but it was definitely over 6, bro. Come on. It was a thick-ass 8, sir. And no more questions out of T, I don't think, tonight.
He's a perfect guy for us because if he plays well and he does earn additional years, he's not getting prime of his career money. And like you said, we need this. It's not plug and play, but it's plug and play when you have a 7-8 year veteran. That's very plug and play if he's the right guy, and that we get to find out if he is or not. It's been a while. I feel like you watch on Sundays and you watch other teams, and without going through all the names, like Gart, Sauce, all these new age corners that they have the size, the strength, they have all of it. And when we were coming up as fans, I mean the corners weren't the tallest guys on the field; they were the most athletic 5'11" guys on the field, and it was a luxury to have a guy over 6 foot. But even when other teams were starting to turn, make that more of a rule, we weren't. I love the idea of having a big. The receivers in this league are so big. The receivers in this league, especially in our division, are so freaking big. We got to have somebody.
A great
big.
example of that is the kid JC that was in New England recently. He was a Terp. I'm just blanking on his last name right
JC Terp.
JC Terp.
He really wasn't anything coming out of Maryland because he didn't really do much, right? But they kept talking about how this guy was going to be incredible, right? And it was because of his size, his ball skills, and his speed. And that combination was just so unique for him to be able to play that position. And then he gets to the league and he shows it.
Maryland's been turning out multiple cornerback safeties the last 5 years.
I agree with
every year.
It's easy to talk about until we see it, but when you have an aggressive defense, you've got to have guys.
That's the point.
Who are able to stick with the man, and then when there's a pass that is a slightly off target, they can go get it, and they have the ability to do it. So yes, you need those types of players.
And here's what we know about growing up in this area, and what the three of us know, and I'm going to be honest, as well as anybody our age, and that's a fair statement. Steph Diggs was always going to be a superstar. We all knew this. That was no-brainer. But Trayvon Diggs, I coached against him in a game that my team beat his team. We were definitely and nowhere near. My dad was the head coach. I was calling plays. He was a non-factor in the game at best. And he's a very good pro in the system in Dallas that he's been in. Because he is a huge dude that can run. Joe Witt and Dan Quinn's system. He's a huge DB that can run. And when you have guys like Micah Parsons coming off the edge, they're only asking you to do this for X amount of time and then take up this amount of ball space with your reach and your length and your abilities. And we watched Trayvon Diggs. What do you have? 7 interceptions like week 8, and everyone's like, this guy's amazing. You guys wait and see what happens with some of these guys fitting this system. We are no longer plug and playing different cats into a system and trying to force feed them to fit the mold. We're taking guys that fit this system and watching them compete against each other.
I was getting ready to say it was J.C. Jackson.
J.C. Jackson. I'm telling you, this dude right here, this dude, our guy right here, has Michael Davis has one pick six in his career, and I know in 7 years you'd like them to have a bunch.
Sure.
But it was in the playoffs versus who? Tom Brady. It was a 78-yard interception return. He's got that under his belt, and he did say this: "I've played against the best. My teams have beaten the best. I get to give that information to these young bucks in this room that I'm in as they're coming up and through this game, specifically in this system." And he said it over and over with the opportunity I have as me, 6'2". 195-pound speed demon tough guy that knows that Trayvon Diggs just made a whole lot more $1 million in his life than he ever would have had he never met DQ or Joe Witt. And that's a fact, guys.
And he's coming. He's going to guard AJ Brown twice. He's coming to guard CeeDee Lamb twice. He's coming over here to guard whoever the freak the Giants are going to put out a wide receiver. I know they have some good players, Malik Neighbors most notably. So yeah, he's going to get he's going to make a huge difference right away for us. But so that's what he is, a penciled in stud starter. And then when you talk about, I think from an impact standpoint going down, I know we have other guys and we have plenty of guys. But the rookie Mike St. Ristel is the guy who I think is the other starter, our third best corner. When I think about what he could do for us, especially with Davis and St. Juste, on the field, which is probably going to be the case most of the time when he's out there, he plays. He combines his athleticism and his football IQ so well. He did it at such a high level for a national program in Michigan where they were. Let's be honest. That was, the NFL light, playing Ohio State and all those teams all the way through.
And he was a receiver his first 3 years.
Yes.
He just went to the defensive side 2 years for the last two because the defensive coaches were pestering Harbaugh all year. They were like, will you please give him to us, you stupid ass? Have fun with that. It's not, but you know what we could do with him?
Yeah, and they did it with him. And he did it on the field at a super high level. He comes in, with the chops to be a starter in this league. I think he will be. Right away. I think he's going to earn a job. I think he's going to earn that spot in August when he needs to earn it. But he's special. Again, it's a great matchup of the coaching philosophy and the player. And you're getting somebody polished, out of the gate who understands what he's supposed to do, Kevin.
He's 23 years old. Obviously, he stayed that fifth year because he had only played D for one, and they saw what he could do, and everyone saw what he could do. And here's what he did do in his senior year. First team All-Big Ten, first team All-American in 3 separate publications. He was the MVP of the Big Ten championship and had a game-clinching interception with an 81-yard return and a natty. This is a dude that's by the ball when you need him to be. This is a bad, bad guy. He's a 3-time Big Ten champion, national champion winner. Guy's talking about being a dad to a daughter. That's what his recent interview is all about. That's all he cares about.
Yeah.
If you listen to this guy, I told you my mom sent me the clip on Michael Davis and his whole back, and she sent it to me and was like, "I thought you would like this. I love it." Well, when Mikey St. Ristel does his interview with the Washington Commanders, I sent that to my son. They said, "What kind of guy do you want to be?" He said, "I want to be a great teammate. I want to be accountable. I want to hold others accountable. I want to be a leader. I wear that on my chest. I'm here to do this. I'm here to play ball. I'm here." Another example of us doing our homework. Nick Saban called this guy pound for pound the best football player in the draft.
That's right.
People are saying he will be a top 5 slot corner upon impact. This is a dude
upon
that
entry
has,
in the league.
Immediately.
Yes.
Born in Haiti. Guys, bored? There's only very few professional athletes ever born in Haiti, and we've had the privilege to have one of them in town.
Garçon.
Pierre. Baby. Now, Pierre was not born in Haiti. His parents were, and they came to New York City, but it was when he was really young. Mikey St. Ristel came to the States as a 6-month-old. His father was the president of a radio station in Haiti, and political turmoil hit, and they had to get the hell out. This guy relocates to Massachusetts and becomes the stud that he is today. Commits to Michigan, leaves his senior year,
Dude, you
second
go
semester.
From Haiti to Massachusetts.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Dude, Massachusetts is weird too.
Know.
Just don't
Trust me.
on the weirdness.
Beach and cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's cold up there.
All I know about him is he is the real. He is the real deal.
It's straight up.
I wasn't getting
directly
more
up
deep than
from
that.
here.
It was hot versus
Now,
cold.
everyone knows Massachusetts from Maryland is directly this way.
Let's be honest. Let's take the island of Cape Cod and the island of Haiti. Who else has to say anything else? But I know this. Pierre Garçon was a badass here. He was one of the, we didn't have a ton, greatest free agent signings that we brought into town, especially in 2012 when we lit it on fire for a half a second.
Was Pedro Serrano from Haiti? I don't know. That's what the board is asking.
I think he was from the Dominican Republic.
I think
Isn't
it
that
was
the guy?
Haitian.
Isn't that the
Yeah.
guy that said
Could be
that,
Haitian.
Jobu?
Yeah.
couldn't
Fuck
help
you,
him.
I say
Jobu.
fuck you, Jobu.
And
I say
said that
fuck you,
Jesus
Jobu.
I say
Christ
fuck you,
couldn't
Jobu.
hit a curveball or something like that.
You tell
Well, that was
you trying to tell me
that,
Jesus
but
Christ
that was
can't
the
hit a
booster of the
curveball?
Hoosiers movie. He was the head booster. He was
That's
the,
right.
but he gave his son a little
That's
shit
right.
for acting like a turd,
That's right.
which I appreciated.
Whenever I get into any kind of fracas or argument and I'm trying to diffuse and get out of the situation, I look at the guy straight in the eye and I say, "You trying to tell me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?" And I tell you, 1,000% of the time, everything was resolved in that exact moment. And I've only pulled that card like 4 or 5 times in my life, and it's been 100% successful. You're trying to tell me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball? And they look at me, they're like, "All right, fair play, well played, sir." Saints Bristol, Mike Davis, Benjamin St. Just. On paper, it's a pretty strong front three. I think, the strength of our defense continues to be our defensive line. I think we should spend a little bit of time on Chin. We should spend a little bit of time on Johnny Newton as we see more of him. I think you talk about rookies who can make you better right away. I think this defense has 2 of those guys. I do think 2 of those guys. Now, there's other guys, and that doesn't count for agent signees and new players, but Saints Bristol and Johnny Newton are they're big time, and our defensive line is set up for huge success. And ultimately, I think people because we've been so middle of the road at best, and we weren't middle of the road last year. No one wants to hear the 3 of us talk about how great Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne are. They just don't want to hear it. I mean, they're great, but we still got boat raced so much because they played 1,000 downs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think that the combination of our defensive line with Newton, our secondary with Saints Bristol, and the coaching staff and philosophy, I think I keep coming back to this Houston Texans model thing that you keep talking about. You talk about D'Amico Ryans and the change of culture and the way that they turn things around pretty quickly. They did it with offense, but they did it on defense. They were tough. They took on the D'Amico Ryans, mentality, and that, by the way, it is a model worth looking at. You know what I mean? There's no shame in you say Houston Texans and everyone rolls their eyes. I mean, look what they did last year.
They were awesome last year with the 2nd pick in the draft, who happened to be a quarterback, who happened to be a culture stud, who his franchise, I mean, they did everything correctly, and I do believe that's what Jaden Daniels gets here.
Yeah.
If old whatever was around, Jaden Daniels, we'd still be hopeful, but we would all know on the back porch that it was not going to be.
That would
great.
be Turd Swagler.
Yes.
Turd Swagler.
Yeah.
Well, so did they had Will Anderson, right? Was it Atlanta or Houston that had Will Anderson, the Alabama defensive pass rusher?
Our guy that. Nah, I don't know.
I can't.
I'm not sure.
And that's the point.
I think I just
'Cause
got Willie
wonder-
Anderson.
Well, that's the point that I was trying to make. Is I think when you talk about the Houston Texans model, and everyone thinks C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins and Tank Dell and what they were able to accomplish on offense in big situations when they went up against big time offenses. And I don't think because if you asked me to name 4 players from the Texans defense, I don't think that I could. I'm pretty sure I couldn't.
D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, D'Amico
I don't do
Ryans.
fantasy. There's no effing way.
It's not about fantasy. I mean, if you watch, you could name 4 players from San Francisco, you don't play fantasy.
Well, that's true.
You could, because you watch football. I'm just saying, if you watch football last year, you watched the Houston Texans, and yet you still don't know. That's true. You still don't know. I still couldn't name 4 Houston Texans, and they were awesome.
I had 2
D'Amico
weeks. I had 2
Ryans.
weeks to read
D'Amico
everything
Ryans.
about every
Stroud.
player
D'Amico.
that was going to be in the Super Bowl.
C.J. Stroud played corner. I'm pretty sure. You can't convince me otherwise. Nico Collins, he was a great 3 hands on the ground defensive tackle. Anyways,
But 2 hands were in the air.
2
also.
hands.
Yes.
He waved him like he just didn't care. All right, Greg, we understand. Yankees up, Birds down. I'm rooting for the Orioles in that series, obviously, and I can't.
Why would anybody root for the Yankees?
Well, he lives up
Well,
there.
And
Oh man!
I will say this: you guys know, and Brian Cashman.
Yes, Catholic University.
Good boy.
He's my buddy.
He made one of the greatest moves of all time. He got Juan
We don't
Soto.
have to talk about it, but he is my buddy, and he's one of the cool. He is one of the coolest, famous. Like he just does it. And by the way, it was Catholic University related, but I got to sit next to him all night long and have it's just really neat. And a mutual friend, God rest his soul, Joe Rada, was his roommate at Catholic, and that's how it happened. But that's the only reason. That's the reason.
Was Cashman
That's the only
85 high school? Same as Rada?
They were the same exact. So
Ish. I mean, they must have been if they were the same class. Yeah, they had
as
to have been.
freshmen at Catholic University.
There you go.
So they graduated. And so, but I think Cashman might have done a year, like a
gap year.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? You got Back to the Future coming out. You got you got to spend a lot of time and energy on that. Clearly, and 1985 was huge. Star Wars was in its heyday.
Are we like in the year that Back to the Future originally thought was so far in the future?
It's so scary.
No, that's no.
So
it was 2015. One of the things was 2015.
may I bring
Was it
something up?
2015?
Did you have something to bring up right now?
Well, I want to.
Our final thoughts. I
wanna
have something
prep-
humorous. Please don't go anywhere. I
wanna
need
prep-
all of your information.
I want to run through the draft. We're gonna do a draft tonight as promised, and
thought he
it's gonna be a quickie. We're gonna knock it out, and I want to set it up. I want to hear the funny thought though, obviously, but I want to at least get the board on board with
I always forget
our plans.
what was the topic?
We're
What
drafting a
was the
team.
topic? No, the
Greg
previous
Martin is gonna
topic.
prompt us. Oh, what's the previous topic?
What were we just talking about? And I was going to
T?
drop it.
What were we just talking about?
You just said, the 50 time gap. Never mind.
Yeah, time
yeah.
gap. Time
Got it.
continues.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
1.21
Let's proceed.
gigawatts.
Thank you.
Yep. There you go.
Thank you.
Calvin
Calvin Klein. Thank you, Calvin
We're going to
Klein.
quickly draft a short roster of players, a head coach, and a team name, and we will ask for you to lend your votes on the team that you are most
Hang
prepared
in there with us.
to root for. We're going to let Greg Martin,
I don't
as
wanna
he
do
always
this.
does, conduct.
Love it.
I don't.
Kevin
wanna do
is
this.
going to be our secretary, as he always is. And we will start with last week. Who went first last week? I believe it was T. So we're going to go back to Kevin. Kevin's going to go first. I'm going to go second. T will go third, and we'll snake it back. The rounds will be as follows. We're gonna let's simplify this. I think T, instead of letting it be a free for all, and you can draft whoever you want whenever.
Don't worry about me.
We can go position by position if you'd like, and then you just get hooked up if you're the top of
That's
that
fine.
round.
Whatever it is what
So
it is.
all that research I did on the X Factor,
Yeah,
is
all
just
that research.
thrown out.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. And by the way, I'm throwing it out, but I did write it down. But Redskins cannot be the team name.
Redskins cannot be the team name.
But we all agree that would be our favorite team's name.
That is
It's
correct.
the greatest football team name in the history of the pigskin.
All right, so T, your choice. Do you want to just pick who you want to pick first and foremost, or do you want to do position? Every round is its own position. I think it's probably easier to do every round as its own position.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's your choice.
It's your choice.
My choice. All right, let's do position.
All right, Greg. What is? Don't do quarterback number one overall. Give us a position to draft in the first round. Kevin gets to go first. Sorry, Kevin, that I robbed you of the quarterback you wanted.
Well, anytime someone says sorry and use my full name, sorry, Kevin, I know that I did something wrong to deserve it. So, but sorry, Kev, means it's your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault. All right, so and Greg, just line them all up. Go ahead and just like one position, two position, three position, and we'll whip through this.
No, we're ready to go.
And
We're
then
ready to go
Nene?
quick.
What's that?
Will we nay after
Yes.
that?
Well,
Yeah, well, obviously, or
they're gonna
Dougie.
watch us whip.
Mm-hmm.
Watch us
And watch out
Nene.
for my stank leg. You don't even want my stank leg. First of each round
Whip,
picks the position. Greg, you son of a bitch. All right, Kevin, you're drafting first in the
done
first
did it.
round. You get to pick the position.
Well, then you know what I'm picking.
Kicker.
Quarterback, and I've got Patrick Mahomes.
You may have a Patrick
you.
Mahomes.
Thank you,
I thought we were
Patrick.
specifically not doing that.
I'm just saying.
But I just whipped
The
a
board.
Nene.
The board.
All right.
T. I mean,
No, it's me.
Ken.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, so if you're gonna take him, then therefore I must. Damn it.
Yum, yum, yum.
I know the guy I want. I'm taking Cool Joe. I'm going Joe Burrow. I think he's the man.
Joey B.
Joey B.
Kenny takes Joey B.
Give me
T-Rick.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
The unicorn.
So wait, okay, so
Yes.
The
Kev,
guy
since we
that
all
does
picked the
stuff that
quarterback
not
there,
everybody else can do.
do out to the left, do the position QB, so we know we have one QB. Second round is going to be wide receivers as chosen
So
by
I'm
me.
last.
And I'm going to take. You know what? I'm not going to.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
Are we snaking it back? That means I go again.
No. So the first. So the way that it goes in the. So he picked first. He gets to
Right.
pick the round. He gets to pick the position.
Oh, you're
So-
going
Then
first.
I'm going to go first, pick position. Then you're going to go first, pick position.
okay.
And you
So
get to go
Ken-
twice there.
So Ken's taking wide receiver.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna.
you're the second pick, correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yep. I'm taking Jamar Chase. I love him. I know there's somebody who
Yeah,
people
you
think are
put
better.
Joey B with Chase. I like it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. T. Anyone you want? I gave you some good ones. I left you some
I'm
good
going to
ones.
move it on up and take Justin Jefferson.
I was hoping I was going to get
I know.
Dynamite.
I'll let him fall right into it, but I got to get my guy.
But I'm not afraid to put Tyreek back with Patty Mahomes either. And I'm gonna.
By the
Ooh,
way,
you got
okay.
You've got some synergy there.
Look.
I have Joe Burrow and Jamar
Look,
Chase.
I know. This is
I got
His
the
is
synergy.
better right now.
So-
They're more proven.
On the day of the backyard brawl, I put the TV out, right? And I'm setting up and doing my prep work. And on NFL Network that day was all Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. From the time I woke up until the time you got here at 5, whatever. And it was awesome. It was so many games. It was so many fourth quarters that were meaningful drives.
Yeah.
It was outrageous. Every single game was amazing from the regular season games to the playoff games to the AFC championship games. I couldn't believe I couldn't get it. I was like, how am I even going to get any work done? It was so amazing. This past weekend was all Chiefs, Bills, Mahomes and Allen. It was all the Mahomes and Allen games. And the game, I forget, it was 2022. I believe it was the divisional round because they still had to play another game. But there was a game where Mahomes, it was the game that caused them to change the rules. They scored like 3 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes. Mahomes to Tyreek Hill for a deep ball with less than 2 minutes to go to take the lead.
I have no idea.
Hold on, but
this is the Nene apparently.
You're next. I'm buying you
You're
time.
nay-naying before the whipping.
But watching Pat
You're doing it all
Mahomes
wrong.
work to Tyreek Hill, so many times that day. I mean, it was outrageous.
All right.
It was outrageous how he outran.
Boner scale was in double digits, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
I knew it.
Like,
I knew it.
But you know how you talk about Taylor Heineke passes?
Will you let him do this?
I have to
what
ask
the
him.
shit are you doing right now?
You know when Taylor Heineke would throw it and you wouldn't know like if it was going to make it, like it would leave the screen and you'd be like, "Where's the ball going?"
The moon ball.
When Tyreek Hill would run,
Reading Rainbow.
you had no idea. You couldn't see off screen where anyone was, and he was just like he just ran around. He just was so fast. He just ran around everybody. And you're like, it was like a Taylor Heineke ball. That's the highest compliment I could give a
What are we
player.
doing? I don't even know.
I
what
was
we're doing.
listen, I'm in draft mode. And
Where are
I'm
we?
not going to let you do this every
I
day.
do it. I'm
You're
doing it.
filibustering. It's T's chance to pick a whole thing, correct?
And I'm going to go tight ends
Okay.
because I think that's the most important position
I'm
that's
second.
left.
You're last. on
And
this.
I'm going to go with
Ken.
only because I need to have Taylor Swift in my box watching the games with me. I'm
Don't-
going with Travis Kelce.
You do have a
Jesus,
sweet,
not-
sweet box.
I do. Cleaned it
So-
up.
Oh God, I know
So-
you do.
and it's so
Every time you
luxurious.
go-
I cleaned it up the other
When he
day.
So
cleans it up,
luxurious.
when he cleans it up,
You should go there for brunch sometime. It is amazing.
No milk in that, biatch.
Nah, no milk in that
He puts
box.
the bottomless in bottomless mimosas.
well, then I'm going with George Kittle, sir,
Yep.
because
I love
that's
Georgie.
what I want to do.
I'm a
I
huge.
mean, just because he was statistically better last year doesn't mean he's going to be
No,
better.
no, I'm a Kelsey guy. But Kittle I'm also a Kittle guy. I love the position, and these two guys are making it super cool.
I call him Sam De La Porta. Obviously, his name is Sam La Porta, but I just love calling him De La Porta. I don't know why,
I'm sure he loves
but I
it, too.
do. He very much appreciates it. He is an absolute stud. I'm glad to give him to Joe Burrow and put him in Joe Burrow's able,
right.
supple, gigantic hands.
Well, I'm going to do this to you guys.
Wait, no.
Supple.
This is the snake back. He gets to pick the round again, and then it comes back this way for picking rounds.
I don't know what that's all about.
I
But
thought I picked 3 rounds ago. Now he gets to pick. So I'm 6th.
Yes, first and sixth.
That's all right. Well, I'm still going to win
I don't
know,
what's
because I know what I'm
I don't know
picking.
what's happening. But
You have to pick another, apparently.
I just want to go on the
It's
defense
buttressed.
now.
Oh,
because let's just
okay.
let's just
All
switch
right.
it up a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit.
Switch it up a little.
And I think I'm going to go with what to me seems like the valued position best, and that would be edge rusher.
Ooh.
And I'm going to definitely go with Micah Parsons as my
Okay.
first pick.
Yeah. Edge rusher, Micah Parsons.
Yeah, it's well played.
That you get second pick there.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Absolutely.
Just do what he says.
well,
and
I'm
let's keep
taking
whipping.
Miles Garrett because
He's a stud.
He's a stud, and I love both of these players.
It's hard to get away from obviously drafting Chase Young here or Montez Sweat, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna definitely dodge those. I like. I'd like to call Will Anderson an edge rusher. I'd like to draft Will Anderson. I know he's playing. He's going to be listed as the linebackers a lot of spots, but he's an edge rusher. He had a studly season last year.
Who'd you take?
Will Anderson.
Okay.
I think I'm going to start him at edge rusher. I think he played that this year. I know he played some linebacker as well.
You don't think Bosa, Watt, Crosby, and Hutchinson want to kick your ass right now?
They can.
I mean, I don't think they
can.
care.
I think they're gonna kick
Actually,
it.
they're not really paying attention to us.
I didn't say Nick, TJ, Max, or Aiden. I was just talking about random four dudes.
Randomly four
Last
dudes.
names.
Randomly
They're like,
four
what?
dudes.
My claim to fame is all right. So,
All right,
now, who gets to
I
pick?
get
You
to
do.
pick,
All right,
yes.
pick it.
And then T gets
I
picked
like it.
again.
Pick it.
All right, I'm going running back, and I'm going with my guy. Now, I think he's the best receiver, one of the best receivers in the league. It's Christian McCaffrey. I think he's a top 10 wide receiver in this league if he wanted to be that. I love him. He can do everything.
Yeah, he's a freak.
If you're picking running back, you better be picking Christian McCaffrey. T, you're next.
So I'm just going to go with Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
No explanation necessary.
No.
Just I'm going with Jonathan Taylor, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going Bijan Robinson.
He was
from
he
That
to
was-
me.
I was
Falcons.
that's who I was deciding between
because
the
he's
two.
super freaky nasty
I
sometimes.
was deciding between the two.
Yeah.
God damn, yeah, that's good.
Kevin, you get to pick the position and go first.
Well, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm picking linebacker.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to my linebacker, and freaky Fred Warner is the nastiest
is.
badass drafted by, I don't know, the same dude drafting our people these days.
Fred Warner's
So,
a beast.
and Fred Warner wasn't the highest pick of all time, but Fred Warner is something that signifies that we're going to be great in town
Yep.
for the next decade, because we're going to pick guys like him. And by the way, when his contract's up, he might remember who drafted him and why. And
There's
when
always room in
Yeah,
Washington,
I
D.C.
think
for a
so.
veteran all-pro linebacker.
Fred, you married a very beautiful girl, Fred.
Ken Harvey, London Fletcher, Bobby Wagner. The tradition continues. Distinguished linebackers in this league come to Washington. Bring it on. Is it me?
Wilbur Marshall. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go, Wilbur Marshall. All right, so I guess Fred Warner's great. I think this is about to be his era. I think Patrick Queen is the guy. I love him going to Pittsburgh. I think it puts a fine point on.
Pittsburgh also loves him going to Pittsburgh.
Yes, Pittsburgh loves him going to Pittsburgh. I think it's gonna be great. Patrick Queen.
Because Patrick Queen is no longer in Baltimore, Roquan Swift.
Yeah.
Bang. RQ. I think the best three just got threed.
Interestingly, Roquan Smith, a guy who we were rumored to be drafting for. I think he was for 2 or 3 months. Everyone was like, "Yeah, well, we're drafting Roquan Smith." Everyone got soured on, right? Yeah. He kind of walked his way or talked his way and acted his way in the bad graces of people,
which usually works out for us.
Which usually works out for us.
We usually draft that guy.
And
is that guy related to Fred Davis
or Malcolm Kelly or Jordan?
Yeah, but those guys were nice guys. Fred Davis had a pimp chalice.
That's true.
Anyways,
all right. So
we got
back
three
to me.
left.
Back to me, and I'm gonna go with. Let's see. I'm gonna go corner. I want to have the first chance at this group. I love him. I don't. The last thing in the world I want to do is anger Greg Martin, or it may be the first thing I want to do. Sauce Gardner, you're on my team. You're awesome. You're the greatest. But I think right now,
baby got sauce.
Yeah, he's so good. I don't. You can say your name whenever you want it, but Kevin, when you watch Sauce Gardner, with a name like Sauce, I think you think so many weird, random things about a guy. And when you watch his tape, it's outrageous.
But with a last name like Gardner, I know that he's like, he hangs out around the house. He
Yeah.
takes care of everything. He makes sure everything at home's good.
Things are growing.
But he's saucy enough to get out there, and
He balls at a super high level.
I know that our
got the
coaching
best
staff would
name.
love to have him. Mm-hmm. If he was here, he would be well embraced by this staff.
Oh, my turn.
I was buying you time, dude.
Oh, no, because we're supposed to be whipping.
Yeah, I'm waiting for. Well, you need
Trent
a name here.
McDuffie
Yep.
from your world champions.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Stud, badass, gets the job done. I'm going to go with an old school cat. Jalen Ramsey has been getting it done for a long time.
Yes, he has.
And I'm a Jalen Ramsey. I respect his battles. That dude's battled with everyone.
Yep.
On an island. And since Darryl Green, I can't remember anyone that had to do that. And it wasn't Darryl Green the last 5 years. It was Darryl Green the first 15. He just shut everyone. Mike Quick, eat it. You're getting the least amount of production possible because that little guy is effort and hit the length of Darryl Green's arms. And by the way, shout out Darryl Green getting his jersey retired. 28 will never be worn again.
Yep.
In our defensive backfield.
That happens
That happened
immediately.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
Thank
no one's-
God. It's the smartest thing that the new regime has done.
Yeah.
How about that? Was Daniel Snyder that stupid because Darryl Green and him were at odds? When Darryl Green said, "I'm finally back home, the home that I always wanted to be at. I now feel like I'm back. I'm back." He said it 100 times. He did not want to be here. He was not welcome here. He was not Snydery, and that's why we love DG.
When I was 4th through the 6th grade, the first football jersey that was selected by our best, the best player on the team got to pick first. That's just the way he went when we were kids. He picked number 28. I didn't get to be 28 because the best player on our team wore 28. That was the way that it went. Oddly enough, I got to be number 7. You could be number 44. You could be 81.
Dude,
but
7's always open.
It's always open, but you couldn't be 28. 28 was always. It sucked. And at least for me, I wasn't the best player on my football team. Wayne Small was. He was 28. I was 32. Vernon Dean. I love Vernon Dean.
But you are in charge of this draft. And you need to tell us as soon as you hit Vernon Dean territory.
I'm ready for
that's
some
when
Vernon
I
Dean.
know. That's when I know I'm allowed to say whatever I like. Ken, who's in charge of picking? There's only 2 categories left.
Obviously, wait, who just picked? We have head coaches and we have head coaches.
You just pick cornerback.
Yeah, so you're gonna lead us
I'm
off with the head
last.
coach pick.
No, he can pick team name or head coach. You get either.
That's true.
You get. Which one do you want to do? Team name or head coach?
You tell me.
I have to take team name.
Okay, good. I draft last. That's great. Because
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you
because
do.
I can't.
You do.
I can't say any of the other names.
That's right.
So I'm going to take the Redskins.
No. We said that was the number 1 rule.
We
That was the only rule of the
specifically
whole
said this.
draft.
There's been one rule all night.
We only
You're
literally
the
had
only
one
sober one
single
here.
rule.
What the shit's going on
Washington,
Tuesday?
We
Washington.
literally just said you couldn't be the Redskins.
Like only there's been
Can it be Washington?
You just want to be Washington.
the Washingtons.
Yeah, the Washington football
Oh
team.
my gosh!
What's your name? Washington Junior, the
Washington
third,
football team.
fourth.
In fact, I would actually officially like to make it the Washington Football Club.
Well, to save your ass is your homeboy, AGH, because he just wrote Red Hogs, which is going to get him on a list.
He's on our list right there.
We're going to be the Little Red Rockets.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
I think Washington Football
Hold
Club
on.
is acceptable.
T went WFC.
He went
Yes.
WFC.
Okay. He tried to win. He tried to go Skins. That was bullshit. That was
I
bullshit.
wasn't
Ken,
listening.
who's up next? You, or
You
me?
are.
I wasn't
It's
listening.
me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Listen to you.
Oh
guys.
man. All right. I'm going to go ahead and shout out to my Pittsburgh brethren, the Steelers.
Okay.
Like that just to me. Like, if I'm from
Sure.
Pittsburgh, I'm like,
yeah.
yes.
It has history. It shows
it's
grit.
super cool.
Yes.
My team that does not yet have a head coach will be called, and I looked this up prior to tonight's airing, and this is a real word. It's the Muffineers. The Muffineers are coming to a town near you.
You can just make up a name?
I did not. Muffineers is a word, and we're going to be muffineering all season long in your neighborhood.
I thought so you're allowed to make up a team name?
Yes. There's no Washington Football Club in the league.
Well, but there's a Washington.
Do you think I would go with Steelers?
No,
If
I have no
could-
idea
If I
why
could
you
go
would-
Muffineers?
Like,
Jesus Christ.
definitely would
I
have
don't
been
know how you did that either.
Yeah, I thought it was no active
Proto-dog or
team.
something.
But Washington
The
Football,
whole email said active team.
there was no
there was no
Washington Football
asterisk.
Club.
There was no asterisk.
There's no Washington Football
I
Club.
thought we were giving that to T because of I don't know.
Because of cancer, I know.
God damn it.
Everyone, he gets everything.
cancer,
He
right.
I was going to say quadriplegic, but you're a sick guy.
I just took the
Savage.
I, as well, with
Fine.
Kevin, thought you
We
were
said
talking
no
about
Redskins.
that was the only thing we ever
That was
said.
a
I couldn't
There was
use
no
other
Redskins.
teams' names.
The Muffineers.
I mean,
like,
we could yeah, we could be the whatever we want.
this is. I don't.
I think I was doing it the
I
right
would
way.
much
Mine to be
rather.
the
I know you
Mushroom
were,
Man.
and that's the way I wish I researched it. Meanwhile, I'm like, what's the best name of the 32?
Mushroom
That was like,
Steelers.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go Steelers.
I mean, let's just-
I'm gonna take Steelers. I know. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
I like
First of all,
Steelers. I like Steelers.
I do too, but I prefer the boners. Who do you guys playing tomorrow? The boners.
Boners
Bright and
versus the
early.
Muffineers.
Yeah. You never want to play the boners at night, do you? No, always want to get them early in the day. That's the 1 o'clock start against the boners. What the heck, man? The Muffineers?
You're gonna get if you catch them in the wrong time of the month. Watch out.
That's so gross.
Just saying.
It's. I almost said it.
You got
I
issues,
almost said
dude.
terrible things. Ken almost inspired me to go down Muffineer Lane.
No.
But I made a quick right.
By the way, that's where our headquarters are.
Oh, I jerked
on
it.
Muffin
And I was
Lane.
like, yeah.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Have you seen
I
him?
hope not.
Have you seen the Muffin
The
Man?
original story of
What
how
lane?
they started.
What lane?
Drury.
Drury Lane.
D-R-U-R-Y, I believe.
All right,
IE.
so now everyone picks a head coach. It gets a little.
Look up the origin.
No,
of
I'm
that.
first.
You don't-
Yeah, you're
I know,
first. You
I'm
get to pick-
first,
you
and
get to
I have
pick head coaches
Andy
first.
Muffineer Reed. That's
Okay.
who I got. I got
Okay.
Andy Reed all day. You have the Muffineers. This is. I wish
That's a real word.
we have to pick names later. I want better names. Next week's draft. Pick your NFL franchise names.
Okay.
I mean, like no holds
The
barred.
Bethesda Boners
I wanna
are
go-
in the league.
And by the way, I'm doing this from vacation.
I know.
And don't Bethesda boner it, just the boners.
The Basement Boners. Oh, wait, you know what? Let's edit that out in post. You go with
Andy
Reid. I'm going with what can I say? I'm Sean McVay all day.
Yep.
That's how I live my life.
Yeah, you are.
And both those
I do.
picks, I would have taken 1 and 2. T has to
Normally-
make the tough choice.
Normally, I would go offensive minded,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of want a badass as a leader,
Ooh, if you say what I think you're about to say,
Please do.
and steal it from.
and I want Tomlin. I want Tomlin to be
I did
there.
not think you were going to say that.
I didn't either, but I love it.
You thought he was
It's
going
a
to say
great
Dan
pick.
Quinn.
No.
You thought he was going to say D'Amico
No.
Ryans.
Nope.
You thought he was going to say Richie Pettibone.
Nope. I thought I was going to say old wrinkled sack Belichick.
No,
He's not in.
No,
but he's not in the
because-
league.
because he
But
has a special
he
story
is the
coming up
league.
soon that you're gonna.
I don't know if it's a special
Bring it up.
story, but
Yeah, it sounds special to me.
guys, EO,
EO, pay attention, EO.
I would love EO to erect a song about Bill Belichick's 72-year-old ass and his 24-year-old girlfriend friend that they've been dating for 2 years. So at 70 to 22 is a 48-year-old difference. We are all 48 years old.
Yes.
So anyone born
We could
today
stand
is eligible to be for our Belichickness
in the
in
gap
half a century.
between
You're
Bill-
disgusting. If you're going to deflate the balls, how are you going to inflate the penis, sir? There's so many challenges I have with Willie.
I think this is where you have to
Willie B.
to fall back on the Louis C.K. Logic.
Do you?
He's not the pervert. Of course, a 24-year-old woman is attractive to him. She's the pervert. She's dating a 72-year-old wrinkled balls.
She's got the fetish.
She has super problems.
Those
She's got
balls.
the fetishes.
Yeah, she's
got the weird.
She's
she's
the
got
messed up one.
kinkiness.
Yeah, she's got crazy, weird stuff
There
going on in her
is
head.
Belichick
no-
is actually.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
doing the right thing.
Kudos to him.
That's
guys.
He's doing the right thing.
Doing well for
He's
himself.
been attending
Yeah.
cheerleading competitions as a 72-year-old man.
I'll do whatever
supportive-
my
a
22-year-old
supportive
girlfriend tells me
partner.
to do.
She's
a
younger
supportive
than
partner.
she's younger than all of his kids. 48 years is not. This is some Keith Richards, freaking Rolling Stones type disgustiness.
You know
I'm
why?
sorry.
Somebody asked why Gary
Needs to be on Hard
Williams
Knocks so
always
bad.
dated younger women, and the answer was because he can. So,
'Cause he can.
I mean, if Bill
I get
Belichick
it.
can do this, then
I get it, but
good job, Bill.
I guess.
yeah.
I mean, I like to think they're in love. Obviously, let's just
2
believe
years.
in
I mean,
something.
2 years is not.
Nothing.
Not well. I mean, we're talking about that's part of a pandemic. I mean,
There's
that's
Commitment.
there's a lot going on.
There's-
Yeah, and he's in the at-risk population.
cheerleading
He's an at-risk. He's a
competitions
senior citizen.
all
COVID's coming
the
for his
air
ass.
sucked out of all those pigskins has been
I
puffed
mean-
right back into that
Mm-hmm.
wind sail. And guess what? How many knots does it take to get to the center of an
Plus-
Annapolis-raised psychopath? This
I mean,
lady she's a cheerleader.
This is
bro.
when now I understand why him and Robert Kraft were starting to have issues because Robert
He's
Kraft
crafty.
is going down to
Yes.
the rub and tug down the street in the mall and
At the strip mall in Jacksonville.
okay, it's Ramon Jackson.
Sorry.
He was flying in,
Now,
flying
you know that
out,
place
flying
is
in,
stanky.
and Bill Belichick's like, I'm
I mean, at lunch that day down in
dating a 24-year-old
no. You know, Kraft was like,
hey,
and the weed was super poopy.
it was.
And there was so much humidity. And guess what? And then, you know, Belichick was like, tell me more.
There was a hot dog
You're
stand
so
out front.
crafty.
hot dogs.
Yeah. This girl is not an
AGH.
entrepreneur. Her social media shit went from to mom.
HEH is calling her a gold digger. And you know what? You might be on to something, Mr.
fair.
Humphreys.
I think that's fair.
Yes.
I think that's a fair statement.
I think from the outside looking in, yes. Obviously, I think I want us all as a group to just believe in something, you know, like the Hallmark, you know, Christmas movie type situation.
Right.
This guy's going to be in the league again next year, I believe, head coaching where he wants to. And this is the kind of thing you want. This is the kind of news that comes out every June. Like when Sean McVay, when the pictures of Sean McVay and his Ukrainian hottie that he was dating at the time
They
came
were
out.
like 3 years age difference.
I understand, but when all that came out and the
And he's
locker
kind
room,
of a handsome dude. Bill Belichick looks like a.
first of all, how dare you? Secondly, the players were so
looks like a rotten
on
grape.
Sean McVay's jock when they were like, "Are you serious, coach? Like really? Like if Bill Belichick was showing up to training camp and all the paparazzi was talking about his 24-year-old girlfriend, I think the players would totally be down with that.
Doesn't suit him as an
All
on-field
the
coach.
players' wives would be friends with her. What are you talking about?
Of course they
Yeah,
would.
of course they would.
But that's the problem.
All right, where are we
Next
at?
thing you know,
EO's back in, or a cutoff
Next thing you know, he's
sweatshirt
on IG.
fetish, which she makes him wear.
that's what I said.
Yes,
That's what I said.
cutoff sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Or heavy woolen panties.
She cuts off different parts than he does. That's
Everyone
all.
likes
I'll be
different
honest.
things.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And by the way, if you're attracted, if you can watch Bill Belichick naked, aroused, then you are mentally strong.
Not
Which-
just
it takes a
watch
lot.
it.
You have to be mentally strong to play for a Belichick coach team.
Not just watch it, Kevin. Cause it. Be the
all right.
instigator.
No, we're pushing.
Trim it.
We're
How about
pushing.
trim it?
We're pushing boundaries. Let's
Are we?
stop.
Well, we're just mushing him out of the way.
I don't want to be
for that
talking about
wrinkly old
arousing
boner.
Bill Belichick. That's
He's
for
been
sure.
known to videotape without people's permission before, just for the record. I'm just gonna throw
He's
that out there.
lunched with Kraft
He has
in Jacksonville.
Has lunched with Crack in Jacksonville.
That is a lot of sloppy
expense
skin.
reports don't lie. We did it again, guys. We stayed
Yeah, fair.
online on Tuesday night for over an hour, and a bunch of awesome people hung out with us to do it. Mission accomplished. We did what we set out to do. We always said if we drink whiskey and talk about the Redskins on Tuesday nights, people will enjoy it and hang out with us. It has come to fruition. 5.3K, guys. 5.3K. We're never been closer to 100,000 subscribers than we are right now. Appreciate everybody giving us some time, hanging out with us. This is this quote unquote slowest time of the year, and yet for us, it doesn't get much. Where are we going? Sorry, what is this? Is this you are mentally disturbed, not mentally strong?
I would agree with that.
Yes,
Who is?
I think he's talking about you, Kevin.
No, he's definitely talking about you.
No. Obviously,
Please
it's,
clarify. Top heavy. Was it
Yes.
top heavy?
It's EO.
What was that?
That's
It's
EO.
AGH, right?
Yeah, AGH is saying, but cut off sweatshirts, depending on where you do the cutting and the offing.
Oh, has
Are,
to be outside the seam, or else it curls
I know,
up.
I know, but you know, girls doing the cut off sweatshirt thing, it's a super cute look if they, you know, you get it going all right.
Belichick was around when everyone was wearing unitards at like Long Beach Island, and
Yes. And
if anyone
perms.
was within
Lot of
5 feet
perms.
away from each other in the ocean, they were arrested.
Do you think you ever had a perm
Down there,
anywhere? But yes, down
he
there.
seems pretty straight edge. Greg Chandler, T and I's grade school football coach, got a perm.
So
He showed up like week 9
I
with
mean,
a perm.
dude's got perms.
No. Our head football coach in
Yes.
fucking 8th grade
terrible, too.
showed up for the playoffs with a perm.
he did.
He had this wild ass like hair and a terrible hairline, and he was crazy. He's a great football coach,
Yeah,
actually.
great football coach.
But then he showed up with a tight knit perm, and it was Tia to my left and Andre Cooper to my right. And we were like, "What's Wheaton gonna think? What's Wheaton gonna say when our coach got a perm?" Andre Cooper said, "Coach, you got a hat, dog?
You got it.
Any chance you got a hat in a car or something?"
Oh, I feel like Bill Belichick harkens from that. I know he drove a station wagon at some point. The question is, was he wearing a perm while he listened to that yacht rock radio back in 1979 in the Vista Cruiser that he surely drove?
Well, good luck with your 50. It's 48 years, guys. Our future girlfriends could have been born today.
Yikes.
You disgusting bastard.
You are T, you're terrible.
This was so if you're
You're
saying this is
terrible.
okay, that means that today a child was born.
That you think it's acceptable to date.
That will be
at
an
some point.
entrepreneur and social media
It'll be a
presence.
my ball handler back in the day.
In the future? Oh. That's interesting.
Fire
problem
up
is-
the DeLorean.
The problem is that all she will handle is the
I know
balls
this.
at that
Yeah.
point.
48
lot of-
years from
it's-
now.
Well, there's nothing else to
48
handle.
years from now, I'm going to need
Oh, hell of a lot of help.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Imagine, yeah, well, think about it.
Is this a huge
About it.
balls joke?
It's a huge. Like, are you basically saying like you're like extrapolating ball growth out 48 years?
Because to be honest,
I mean,
he grew out of the
I'll
K2
need
phase
somebody young
many
and
moons
spry
ago.
for sure.
This
is
is
what
a
I'm
this
saying.
is a Duke
Can you
senior.
imagine?
be the first guy who has a wheelchair for his balls following behind him. That would be the weirdest.
A trail chair. It's a trail chair.
A trail chair.
And by the way, T, you didn't get the joke. I said this dude grew out of K2 a long time ago. He's a Duke
He's
senior.
a Duke senior. By the way, I still love K2s. How fun are they to throw? I mean, the best. But he is a Duke senior.
We've been on way too long. We gotta stop this.
You're not wrong.
So long. So
He's
long.
Tim Strachan.
I love you guys. I love being here on Tuesday nights and AGH. Let's keep fighting together, brother.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Well, I would cheer for that from the front row seats anytime. Yes, sir. AGH and T Strachan over at Ken Meringolo's place. I'm a lucky man to be part of all of it. Thank you guys for letting that happen.
We, once again, thank you so much for joining us. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. Thank God it's Tuesday. We're still live. We're still live. Now, what I want to make sure we don't do, I know we're still live on
There's
video
a
this
long
time.
list. There's a long,
There's a long
but
list.
distinguished
We're going to
list.
go right here. Want to shout out to our composer. I'm really, my algorithms on Spotify, you're really messing with them, my friend. It's a fact.
And you're catching heat on
Waiting for
the
that
East
song.
Coast. You're about to blow up. Like,
Yeah.
this is shit is spreading like
Yes.
I wouldn't say wildfire yet, but friendly fire is scattering
Is the name of the
throughout.
song Old Balls, New Blood? What are we doing here?
We're talking EL, baby. T, you've given it. Yep.
Do it all over again.
Oh, it's about to get off down here in B-Town, K-Town.
My Spotify algorithms are totally effed.
And it's fair because he can fucking jam.
Yes, he can. Don't forget your penis cream. Do not forget your penis cream.